In the previous episode of YOLO Hangout,
you sleep, then you dream of having an affair with a lady, then that thing comes. And my experience, I had it, and I told my mom, and she said it's spiritual marriage. Yeah, so she took me to the pastor to pray and all that. Serious.
Why will you be dating an older woman whilst we have young girls out there you can go and date? But he was like, he's not even interested in the younger because what can she give me? She can't give me anything.
Today, the discussion gets even hotter.
For me, I think sex is something both acts will enjoy. So I don't know why a guy would think of raping a lady. You only want to enjoy it alone, whilst you are both supposed to enjoy.
When I was in lower primary, I had confrontation with a girl and I mistakenly touched her backside. My dad beats me very bitterly. And since that day,
then,
I've never, and it has never crossed my mind.
You only live once. We call it YOLO. The boom say me catch rebel say me jabo me number one, so we reach in the trouble that's what the bench. Me jabo my wire on konam, I feel the bull like self defense. Now me dream say me nyame ho, and so my dream home you know when they say and me friends. And try to be break up, like I'm a bubble pa, I no go know how I go defend. Me say me your bro, so now me fakey, search me swap, me my wrong answer. Me my do what bro me datey, as I gonna have me pen and me walk a landa. My catcho, to my bumfu, and who them is friends, so me no me soon. I can't do not draw, so my mama come up. Can be bitch about me now, what do me boo? Don't penny for us again, was I don't care for a king. Man, Tia say, come and rush it, made a hope, but I did the other man pain. Makumeni, so much you will share, put me funny now, put me jam here. That's what they me penny say, for them, one never tell me, they were too much to my skin to delay me poucho. Me poucho, I can't be not yours, after them, you live me poucho, me poucho, me poucho, me poucho, me poucho. Me poucho, me poucho, me poucho, you live me poucho, 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 you live me poucho. Yeah.
And as long as the series lives, your song lives on. Thanks for the amazing performance and enjoy the fame. Welcome to the YOLO Hangout. This is the only youth-oriented TV program where we educate and, of course, entertain the youth of our generation. On the YOLO Hangout, we take the gloves off. We say it as it is and tell our minds, but not forgetting to also learn from each other and get expert advice on adolescent reproductive health. The YOLO Hangout is brought to you by the National Population Council, supported by USAID and facilitated by Communicate for Health. You can join the discussion at home by posting your thoughts to our social media handles, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Good life! Live it well. Good life! It's an everyday thing. YOLO! You only live once. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You only live once.
Yeah, don't waste any time. He's waiting. You have to make up your mind though.
Come on, yeah, this is the only way. If you really want to hang out with us, you've got to step up and do this. Go.
I'm sorry, sir. I have to focus on my education.
What?
Get your phone.
Be a positive influence on your friends. You only live once, so make the smart choice.
Good life. It's an everyday thing. Good life. Live it well. Good Life from Ghana Health Service and Partners is here to make healthier, happier living an everyday thing.
Welcome back. This is episode 5 of the YOLO Hangout, and as you know, we always have a guest presenter on the show with us. Now, our guest presenter today is none other than the gentle, one and only Abrantier.
Hi.
Welcome. All right, take a seat.
You only live once.
so before the discussions, let me have a quick one with Ivan. Now, a young, fine gentleman shows up in YOLO and has all the ladies drooling. Ivan, let's talk about your YOLO experience. Time on set, having to vibe with other characters, meeting people for the first time, but, you know, playing roles with them that have to show, you know, a tight bonding friendship, your whole time on set, characterizing and all of that. Tell me about it.
Okay, that's a lot. But okay, coming on YOLO, I really didn't know what to expect, honestly. I thought, I had the idea that it was going to be a whole very professional, very strict environment, but coming on, meeting the guys, the gelling was so easy. We quickly built a rapport, and honestly, to be very, very honest, most of the things you see on screen is what goes on behind the screen. It's so much fun. We have fun doing really good work to help other people. Interesting.
So was YOLO your first shot at acting?
No, I had done a few commercials before, but then I think YOLO was the main thing that had lots and lots of dialogues in it.
Okay, so you weren't totally new to camera?
No.
All right, okay, good thing. Now, being out there because of YOLO, YOLO is a hit TV series, and so everybody in there gets recognized naturally by a lot of people out there. How do you handle that recognition?
I mean, watching you, your every move, seeing your demeanor, how you handle things, and they learn from it, or they judge you by it. Not that you should think about the judgments that they pick up, but then in their eye, you have to bring forth the best of you.
So it's going well for you so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, so after YOLO, are you working on other stuff pertaining to acting, and has YOLO opened doors for you to work on other things?
So yes, it has opened up a few opportunities for me. I'm working on a production called The Attraction. That was a series on Instagram. And we are doing a season 2 this time, so it'll be coming out, I think, in about 2 months' time.
Okay.
And yeah, a few other things coming up my sleeves.
Great, great. Before the discussions continue, take a look at these scenes from some episodes of YOLO, and we'll be right back to discuss.
Hello, please, how can I help you?
I think I've been raped.
Oh, how?
Okay, so let's get on with the discussions for today with our lovely studio audience. We're talking about rape, okay? How serious is rape? Do you think that the society pays a lot of attention to it as it should?
Rape is not something really good. The small media law I did, I'm very much sure that anything that disturbs the society of the mind of society, it's very bad, and then due to that the law can just take actions with you. So it's seriously not good to do something like that. Thanks.
For me, I think sex is something both are to enjoy. So I don't know why a guy would think of raping a lady. You only want to enjoy it alone, whilst you are both supposed to enjoy.
Rape comes about when someone forces you to have sex with that person without your permission. So it doesn't really relate to only the females, it relates to the males as well.
There are females who also rape.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like rape is the same as murder, because if you're a girl and someone takes that part of you away, it's literally like killing me. Yes, it's literally like killing me. So why don't you just kill me instead of raping me?
Rape doesn't bring about only psychological problem. It also affects health issues, because the person coming to rape you isn't protected. Rapists
when the person is raped.
Hard on it, yeah.
Okay. Okay, are there suspicious behaviors that we notice on the part of guys that can lead to rape?
With the suspicious behaviors, the guy will always call you to come to his house only when his parents are not around. When his parents are around, he won't call you. He won't. Sometimes even texting will be difficult. Yeah.
You know, in this life, there's nothing like free lunch. When a guy is giving you this, you should know his intention that yeah, he wants this from you. And if you are smart enough, or you the girl a little bit wise, you can come up to the guy and say like, okay, I know you're helping me do this, pay my this, do this and all that. But I want to tell you that if you want something from me, then you're not getting it, then better stop. Because, you know, there's nothing like free lunch.
The guys there, Obetinika.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, that said, let's make reference to YOLO. Now, we see that Sewa goes to visit Kelly, and then he tries to force her to have sex with her, and even goes the extra mile by spicing up a drink. Okay, what is your take on that, and do you think that girls can actually be forced in that situation?
Relation with like the boys per se, it's like a competition between the guys. If this person has slept with this girl, this person has slept with, so you also want to like prove yourself right, and you're trying your best. The girl is not giving in, so now you have to go like the hard way to get it. So you have to do something that will make it more easier for you to get to the girl. So you have to you get it.
Okay.
Back to Sewa and Kelly. Sewa is known as like a cheap girl in the area because a lot of boys have slept with her, and Kelly is like the odd one out here. I'm not sure his intention was to rape her. He actually wanted to have sex with her so that when they are talking to, he can say so. But it wasn't going as planned. It wasn't going as planned, so he had to take it by force. That's when rape came in.
Okay, and there's another caution. Girls go out there just anyway, you take a drink from anyone's house. You should be very cautious about that, because personally, everywhere I go, I always keep water in my bag. When I come back and you give me a drink and I'm going to the washroom, I don't come back and take it, even if we are all girls sitting together, because amongst ourselves, we can't be trusted.
Okay, so hold on with the discussions. It's time for us to go see what our friends in town have to say about this topic. Stay tuned.
When a guy gets a female visitor or something, and maybe the guy is horny, you see it in the guy's actions. Because sometimes the girl that didn't come there for those things, just for a visit, but the guy may be horny at that time. So the girl may something like smooch and other stuffs. And if the girl refuses, some guys might just go in force and do whatever they want to do.
Welcome back. It's still the YOLO Hangout, and the discussions is getting interesting in the studios. We've said it all, but let's hear what some experts from the YOLO Youth Corner have to tell us.
Rape is committed when a female of 16 years or above is carnally known without her consent. A person who commits rape commits a first-degree felony, and upon conviction is liable to be sentenced to a term of imprisonment not less than 5 years and not more than 25 years. Rape is normally committed by people who are known to the victims. To avoid that, be careful who you keep in your circle. What to do after you are raped. When the unfortunate incident happens, do not blame yourself. No reason can justify you being raped. As soon as you are raped, do not wash down. Do not throw away your panties, bed sheets, clothing, etc. If possible, go straight to the hospital for medical attention, after which you go to the police station to lodge a complaint. Or walk straight to the police station, lodge a complaint of rape, where a medical form will be issued for you to attend hospital.
These are some scenes from some episodes of YOLO. We'll be right back.
Charlie, so what's up? She said what?
Oh, she was like, she wants us to hang out. Like, you be wet clothes.
Charlie, you know something, eh? Tonight you won't shop then go take your phone come tonight now, Charlie.
Oh, for real?
What's up, your mind?
Charlie, what's the plan? What's the plan?
Saying you didn't move for go, you know, because you know the chicks. So we'll make go take your phone come.
I can't move an inch, I'm grounded. And my mommy will follow me everywhere I go. Even if she gives me the chance, I have to be inside for at least a week. I can't go anywhere.
Ah, my guy, see, wait. So right there, as you talk this thing, eh? How we go fit identify the girls? Who could describe them, give we? Drogba, as he day here, he say, you know, sure say the guys go give him the right girls. So what's up?
Okay, so moving on to the next topic, we are talking about peer pressure. In YOLO, we see Cyril as a good boy, Later on, he becomes bad because of his affiliations with Drogba and the other guys. So would you blame Cyril's change in behavior on his choice of company?
I think maybe that's his behavior. That's what he wants to do, or that's what he wants to be, but he wasn't getting anyone to push him up to be what he is right now. Because someone can be in the midst of smokers and yet still, up to now, the person is not smoking. So I'm sure it's him, but maybe the Dada B issue for him, that's what's worrying him, and now he has someone to help him become who he wants to be now.
Okay, there's a saying, show me your friend and I'll show you your character. So as he moved on with them for some time. Now he's beginning to adapt to their behaviors, and then it's affecting him. Yeah.
You could realize that most of the times, Drogba used to call Cyril a John boy. So in order to show that also a guy, then some, he also needed to prove that okay, he was up to the task. That's why made him do all sorts of those things. Thank you.
Like what he said, show me your friends, I'll show you your character. In everything, it comes down to the individual. It comes down to whether you want to let go of what your parents brought you up with, or you want to go with the secondary thing that your friends are bringing up to you. So it's up to you to make up your mind. If you feel something is wrong, and that means that came from your training and from the morals that you've been bred with since you were born. Once you feel something once you feel in your chest that something is wrong, you take your stand at that moment. You take your stand at that moment and you stick with it. If they are not going to allow you into their group because you are John or you don't do what they want you to do, then find a new group of friends. It's not easy, but then it's worth it.
Okay, so studio audience, hold on. Let's get some quick comments from random youth about this topic.
For peer pressure being positive, some friends can come over, invite you to church. And they can invite you to church, like maybe you are in school, you are in your hostel, you are with a friend. The friend can just be like, I'm going to learn. Without peer pressure, you be like, I'm in the hostel, I'm not doing anything. So next time, you just follow the friend to the prepping hall or something, so you go and read together.
Still talking about peer pressure, let's go and see what Nana Kwame Opon from the NPC has to say on this topic.
Positive peer pressure enhances the progress and development of adolescents, while negative peer pressure compels adolescents to disregard their personal values and beliefs in order to fit in and gain some recognition from their peers. With time, adolescents lose their personality, confidence, and sense of self-worth. They are likely to indulge in acts like drinking and drug abuse, as well as risky sexual behavior, which exposes them to teen parenthood and sexually transmitted diseases like HIV and AIDS. It is important that as adolescents, we stand for our ideals and beliefs and resist pressure from our peers while maintaining a good company of friends. Also, parents and teens must maintain a relationship where both parties can freely discuss all manner of issues, since it strengthens adolescents' self-confidence and self-worth. Adolescents with questions and other issues can visit the nearest adolescent health corner for assistance.
Let's talk about parenthood. Now in YOLO, we see that Auntie Enyenam becomes emotional, remembering how her father used to warn her and talk to her. Now bringing that into our daily lives, do we go against things that our parents say? And if so, after the deed is done, do we regret what we've done?
Maybe your parents give you advice. They're like, don't do this. But you have friends who tell you other things. And you think maybe my mom is old. She doesn't know what's on now. So she can't really advise me on what's going on. So if my mom tells me not to really relate with girls, and I see my friends doing, I'll be like, okay, maybe she's going that way, maybe menopause or something. So then I heed to the advice of my friends.
Our parents know more than that. But nowadays, the modern world, when they're advising us, they don't tell us about their past. They are like, I didn't do this, but for sure maybe she did it. You're supposed to tell us, I passed through this. That's why I'm here right now. If you tell us that, you make us know that yes, you suffered before you did this. So I'm also supposed to be cautioned about it. But you don't say that. You turn the whole thing around. Yeah, me, I wasn't like this. Go and ask my mom. But maybe that wasn't it. You are doing worse than what I'm doing right now. So they should also learn how to talk to us.
I feel like it's always the same situation, but different times. You feel like maybe your mom didn't go through the same dating process, but here you are, you know that she married your father. So obviously he went through a certain way, talking to her, maybe flirting with her. So it's the same thing we go through, like from generations to generations. But as I said, it's different times and the different styles of how it happens.
You know, sometimes there's a particular situation and you know the friend that will give you the good advice, but you go to the friend that will give you the go ahead. And that really comes down to your choice of who you decide to ask.
So does it come as a surprise to us when Cyril receives the prodigal son treatment? I mean, when he came back from the village after his mom looked for him all over and then he came home, his mom was very receptive. Will our parents behave the same way or they'll punish us?
For me, if I relate it to my family, like my mom would be like, "Yeah, no, Jokeba, like go back to where you came from." You get it, out of anger. And then, but as time goes on, you realize that, I don't know, maybe it was because of something. Then they call you back and then sit you down and then explain, talk to you and stuff.
In my home, personally, I'll be punished. Even though I've not seen the ugly side yet. But then the shouting and the reprimanding alone makes me feel hurt.
Okay,
I remember when I was in lower primary, I had a confrontation with a girl and I mistakenly touched her backside. So when I came home, I remember my dad beat me very bitterly. And later on, he sat me down. Whitefield, this and this and this. It's someone's daughter. You could be arrested. So next time. And since that day,
then,
I've never, and it has never crossed my mind.
So we've been going on and on and on with discussions in the studios, but here are some comments from our friends in town.
Parents should be strict on their children because their parents were strict on them. Because we are in the modern world and like we need our freedom. Because if they are strict on us, we can't be open to them. They'll be hiding stuff from them.
Parents, if they are free with their children, they advise them. Children too, they are also free. They tell them everything. They know their friends. They know who they mingle with. I think when something goes wrong with their children and they're able to tell them, they can give them advice, and even that advice can help them to even help their friends.
On the topic of parenthood, let's hear what some experts from the YOLO Youth Corner have to tell us.
Many teenagers misunderstand their parents when they try to provide guidance and protection. But when they grow up and have their own children, they realize that their parents were really after their own good, trying to shield them from looming dangers, which may not be evident to them due to their immaturity. Can identify with Auntie Enyonam's reaction upon her realization her father only had good intentions. Many parents will not give up easily on a troubled child, no matter how rebellious a child may be. Parents will try their best to provide the needed support to turn the child around. Generally, parents love to see their children grow up to be the best that they can. On some occasions, parents will punish their children just to get them back on track. But it is all for the betterment of the child, and would normally not turn away a child who has realized his or her mistake and has turned a new leaf.
Holding on with the discussions in the studios, we are going for a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Meet Sandra. She's 16 years old. Her dream was to become a doctor. She began studying hard to achieve her dream. It seemed nothing could stop her. That is until she met Bob. Her friends warned her to take it slow, but she wouldn't listen. And then she missed a period. Now her parents are disappointed in her. She can hardly face all those she loves, and her friends pretend they don't know her. And as for Bob, all because she missed one period. As a teenager, every period counts while you're in school to achieve your dreams. You only live once, so make the smart choice.
Good life, it's an everyday thing. Good life, live it well. Good Life from Ghana Health Service and Partners is here to make healthier, happier living an everyday thing.
Okay, so this ends our discussion, but before our Brantier goes and before the show ends, do you have questions for him?
When we look at the other characters, they were all talking about, we asked them questions about their old friends. Since now you are a superstar, so have you dogged your old friends? Because you started with them.
Yeah.
How do they feel when they see you now? Is the relationship still the same? Or there's this kind of thin line between being a celeb and an ordinary person?
Okay.
Per se?
To me, they are both realities now. And personally, I am very paranoid of the new friends I have right now because I feel they are coming around me because of a reason. And if that reason should leave, they would leave too. Because in the end, we are all in our friendships because of benefits. That's how human beings work. But then I still have most of my old friends as my really close friends. I have friends who are also up there or upskill just to keep me rounded about situations. But then I'm very, very close with my old friends.
Okay, next question.
Were you born an actor, or maybe an instance led you to acting? And are you willing to take up acting as a professional role?
Well, an instance caused me to. It just came up with the art thing and I tried it and I thought that, okay, I found something new that I'm good at. So I picked it up from there. And about going on to the future, I think it's a very, very nice line to align myself to. So I'm looking at the prospects of it and then I'll pick it up.
This is how we round up episode 5 of the YOLO Hangout. Remember that the YOLO Hangout is brought to you by the National Population Council, supported by USAID and facilitated by Communicate for Health. You at home can also contribute to the discussions here in the studios by posting your thoughts to our social media pages: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My name is Lenny Lemote and I've been your host. Thank you to Ivan, aka Abrantier, and to our lovely studio audience. You were amazing. Give it up for yourself. Good life. Good life. It's an everyday thing. YOLO. You only live once. Take the mic down. You only live once.
We the high, we the boost. No K, one shot for the hood. The kind of normal thing where we they do. It be the normal thing where we they do. Like have fun, chillin' all time, babe. You only live once. Chillin' all time, babe. The kind of normal thing where they do. You can do whatever you wanna do, but you only live.